or not concedes. Let me think of a way to say this. It states.
I'm trying to show you the difference between the two beliefs.
Yeah, but in the image that shows the difference between kind and species, I don't know why I'm holding it to my face. I'm sorry. In the image that shows the difference between kind and species, it says all the way through it that there is a shared common ancestor up to the family node, which means that, like, if we look at the animal kingdom as like a tree, things will go back up until the single point of family when you can start looking at like cats, dogs, things like that. So that would mean you wouldn't be able to tell me like what distinguishes them when one kind, like a kind, oh fuck, no hands, kind becomes another. Woo.
But that's not my view. My view is that one kind does not become another.
Yeah, but what is a kind, right? You haven't actually said a kind. You've only said like a stable category.
Yeah, a kind was a created type of life form.
Yeah, so that's everything. That is anything and everything that is alive. So you technically, under the biblical prescription, you've actually just conceded the entire debate that everything is the same. So you'd have to tell me what a kind is and why one kind is different than another. Otherwise, you kind of just said that you don't know what you're talking about, right?
No, you just completely don't understand what my worldview is.
But I just said what you said back to you.
No,
how do I not understand if it's the same thing?
That's not what I said, actually.
Why? Okay. Say it again then. What is a kind? Starting from what is a kind? What is a kind?
Yeah. It's just a created creature.
Sorry, I can't hear you. What is it?
It's just a created creature. It's just
so
like
a kind is a created creature, correct?
Yes, created creature.
Okay, what separates what I assume exists as kind A from what I assume exists as kind B?
They don't share a common ancestor.
But that's not what separates them, right? That would be quite literally every single kind, according to you, right? So if every single kind
what separates it in my view. See, so in the evolutionary worldview, hold on. In the evolutionary
worldview, you understand that if
if
any of them share a common ancestor, then your point is nullified, right?
Hold on. Do you think a cat and a dog share a common ancestor?
Do you?
No.
Because you agree up to the family tree.
No, I don't. Yeah. Do you see that's the difference between evolution and creationism? I don't believe that a cat and a dog have a common ancestor.
Yeah, but you're not denying that lions and house cats came from one ancestral population. You're saying that when it happens inside of us.
Yeah, that's different. That's not the evolutionary rule.
So you accept that there is like maybe 50 common ancestors, but you don't accept that there's one. So you accept that there's a type of evolution and just not the type proposed, which means you are an evolutionary scientist. You're just not a forefront one on the mainstream, right? You would be like
it's the difference
secondary
between,
type of evolutionary science.
No, that's just adaptation.
By definition, if you think that there is an evolutionary ancestor up until the family node, you are an evolutionist. By definition.
Hold on, is that what evolution proposes?
That's what you defined it as. So by your own definition.
Can you answer that question for me? Is that the evolutionary theory?
By your definition, yes.
No, not by my. No, that's not true. What is the evolutionary theory? What is it positive?
Did he die?
This guy's.
I think he's all right.
I was talking to nobody. I can't hear him anymore.
Your mic is fucked.
We can't hear you, dude. You moved away from the McDonald's Wi-Fi. Bruh, is this guy literally like under the bridge dweller?
Testing. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, per your definition in our DMs, you don't get to say no. Per your definitions in our DMs, you have the ability here now.
Hold on.
Okay, cool. So here now, define evolution. That would be the first task. If you wish to retrograde from our conversation earlier, define evolution now.
Yeah, evolution is the theory that we all share common ancestry with a singular common ancestor.
So you're saying like the idea that every single living organism shares like a DNA sample, not DNA sample. How do I phrase this concretely?
Yes, DNA.
From pond scum, right?
No, not just pond scum, but like a single type of pond scum that we're all related
so
to.
what you're saying is that evolution, right? Per your definition here, as you have stated it, is a claim, as you have stated it, is a claim that all living life starts or stems from one ancestor. Your claim, do you agree that you sent me a diagram or like an image that shows your position versus the evolutionary position?
Yeah.
Would you agree to that for the court so that I can submit that as evidence? Would you agree to it real quick?
Yeah,
I'm about to say it, but I need you to agree that
I
it's not
agree
just
that
me
that's,
saying it.
yeah, that's
Okay, cool. So your diagram or your image, however you wish to call it, right? It showcases that everything stems from, I believe it's either 50 or 5. It depends on the mouse breaks out. Common
on
ancestors.
what species you're no, because there's like many different animals, right? So there's some that can belong to the same.
See how you're
Hold on,
you're
there's
already
some,
hang
hold
on. You're already
there's some that are there are some that are related, and then there are some that are considered mosaics that just stand alone, like a platypus. Right?
Yes. So what you have just said right now counts as a concession. There is no other way to register that as other than you having your own view of evolution. So you are quite literally proposing a view of evolutionary science. It is. By definition.
No, it's not.
By definition, it is. The only thing that changes is the ratio of sources. It by definition is.
What's the difference between? Okay, what's? Can you tell me then? What's the difference between adaptation and evolution?
Sorry, could you? It jumbled out. I heard. Could you tell me the difference between?
Can you tell me the difference between adaptation and evolution?
Yeah, an adaptation could be a trait, but an evolution would be a species able to breed, right? Because lions and cats can't breed.
That's not what evolution is. Evolution is.
It's a simple shorthand. You see how you're able to say that's not what evolution is, but suddenly you're not able to say it when you posit it?
I did say
you posited the same. Yes, but what you've said in exchange for it is the same exact thing with 5 additional sources. So at best, you are.
Why do you think,
sweetheart? Before you agree in longer form, please let me say the whole thing. Please allow yourself the chance to disagree with the whole thing. You have agreed that so far the only difference is that it's not one ancestor. It's a cluster of ancestors that the entire pool of life has sprung off from.
Yes,
that is
obvious. That is the ultimate difference between the two worldviews. Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. That's awesome. Now you have agreed verbally in front of the court that you have created or subscribed to your own version of evolution that has a wider pool.
That's not evolution.
So the only debate now. The only debate now is 1 versus 5.
Hold on. Can you tell me? You failed to tell me the difference
only
between
debate now
adaptation
is 1 versus
and evolution.
5. Why 1 versus 5, right? The only debate is why 1 versus 5. Can you tell me the difference between adaptation and evolution?
About. Yeah, adaptation are like small traits within a kind that change, and evolution is one kind or clade changing into a transitioning into a completely different kind of clade.
But yeah, so that then anything can happen like that, right? Because as you've defined kind, there is no border.
Would you defend the idea that a land-based cow-like little animal in 50 million years changed into a whale? Because that's what you would have to defend in evolution.
Possibly, but the way you've set it up is lacking a lot of criteria to be judgeable, right?
What do you mean? That's literally what they posited.
Well, no scientist in history, you will never be able to point to a claim that says X became whale. Right? You will literally never be
Welcome
able
to evolution.
No, sweetheart, you have never actually
Welcome
been
to
able to
evolution.
demonstrate that. You just laugh and say, welcome to evolution, right? So whatever
Yeah.
you say is cool. You can live in the kink. I agree with you. You have a kink for this, and that's really cool.
There's no
You can
kink.
live in it, right?
It's literally
But
what it is.
no, it's literally a kink. Yes, I agree. But you will
It is-
never be
no,
able to demonstrate your
literally-
way out of this. Yeah, you will
I don't know
never
what
be
you're
able to
talking
demonstrate
about.
your way out of this because every single time you circle back to it.
I don't know what you're talking about. My view and evolution are completely different.
Your chart grants that canine kind, like dogs, wolves, foxes, coyotes, and feline kind, like lions, tigers, leopards, and house cats, and bovine kind, like cattle, bison.
Yeah,
I'm
we
looking
get
at
it.
right now.
So
Right?
what?
Well,
And?
keep in mind, sweetheart, these people weren't in our DMs.
your
They don't know
sweetheart.
what we were talking about. You are my sweetheart. The way that we're doing this is a tender, loving embrace.
Okay. No thanks.
It doesn't have to be gay for you to be my sweetheart, sweetheart.
It's pretty gay.
It's only
and I don't appreciate it.
it's quite literally only gay if you take the first
thanks.
instantive of saying it's
No
gay.
thanks.
You're making it gay.
No consent.
I'm making it a loving embrace, right? A son
no
can be a
consent.
sweetheart. I'm
I don't-
sunning you right
I
now.
don't want to be loved
But
by
anyway.
you.
Anyway, each of the groupings that you just agreed exists in your chart are families with one founding pair of each of them, right?
So
Do
what?
you understand that?
And
No, I want you to concede to that, right? You have
it's
to
not a
agree or
concession. That's
disagree.
already my worldview, dude. What are you talking about?
Well, we have to
I
build
didn't
from
change,
this.
you
You're
didn't
unstable,
change
right?
my mind. Do you think you changed my mind on
I haven't.
anything?
No, we haven't gotten there yet, right? Do you agree
No,
that
we
the
haven't
chart
even-
you sent? Yes, because the people in the call, by definition of not being there, don't know what files you've sent me, do they? Are they mind readers suddenly?
I could post it in here and then
You could do that, and then you
Yeah, I
could
don't
do
think
that, and then we
anyone-
could.
the
We
people
can
who
all make
agree
the
with
claim to you
evolution
together,
are not
right?
going to agree. They're not going to agree with my side of what the creation side says.
Well, yeah, but you've essentially just said that what you've said breaks down to people who agree with the truth don't agree with lies, and that flips no matter who's saying it, right?
What?
That's a very useless statement.
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, dude.
You just said that the people
it's
who
in the
agree with
side chat for people to see, and they
all right,
like
cool.
the people who
cool.
believe in evolution are not going to agree with what
Notice
the,
how Notice how you keep
what the,
separating. Notice how you keep separating the group into people who already agree with you and people who don't already
they
agree
don't
with
agree
you.
with me. That's that we don't agree. Look, dude, I don't believe in evolution.
So
I
then
would
why
say
do you
most
keep
of the
separating
people-
the
hold
chat?
on, dude, hold on.
Why don't you just say for
Bro,
everybody else and then for
crazy.
me?
How do you
there's
start
this?
talking when someone else is already talking? It's wild.
Well, because when you talk to somebody who's off track, you have to be willing to steer the
I'm not
conversation,
off
right?
track, dude. You don't. How are you? How am I off track if you're not even listening?
Well, because you
You're
still
not even
haven't
listening
answered
to what
the
I'm
difference
saying.
between kinds.
All right, look,
I've asked
listen,
you at the
you wanna have
beginning
a
what the difference
conversation?
between a kind is. Yes,
you
you
wanna
haven't
have a
answered any of the
conversation,
questions.
if you want to answer a conversation, if you want me to answer anything, you have to like actually shut up while I'm talking, right?
Yes, but every time I've been quiet, you have refused to answer the simple question, what delineates
I
a kind
have.
from another? No, you haven't. You said what a kind
I
is,
have.
but you refuse to answer what delineates one from another.
It's arbitrary. We just name them.
So then every single piece of this is arbitrary, and I can say that anything is anything, and anything is because of anything, because all of it is arbitrary. Do you understand
Not
that?
really. It doesn't matter. No. Because you could call a cat
Why is a
something else,
platypus a special character?
but
Why
it's
is a
not going
platypus
to
a special
change
kind?
whatever the cat is. Right?
Well, why would I call a cat something else? That's not the claim, right? Am I claiming that a cat is something else? No,
that
only
is kind of
you
what
are.
you're claiming, though.
No, not at
That is
all.
what
The
you're
claim is that what a cat is stems out of what other things are by the differential relationship between the three or two of them, right?
Okay,
Different terms gain their meaning from the difference in the scope of their usage, right? So no one is ever saying that a cat is a whale or is pond scum. For you to say that, that would be you saying that and loading it into someone else's mouth, which would be illiteracy on demonstration.
We could have named
right?
a cat anything. We could have named a cat a whale, and it wouldn't make a difference. It's arbitrary.
Yes, exactly in the same. Well, no, that's not the same usage of arbitrary, right? Your decision is that
It's just a name. We just chose arbitrarily an identifying like set of sounds to name a cat.
First and foremost, that's not how we did that, right? We appealed to Latin and we appealed to a lot of vernacular.
What do you think that is? It's just language. Language is an intersubjective, arbitrary tool that we use, and we could just change the definitions. Like it's not something
no,
that's static, right?
you've now walked through three different things, right? You started by saying we could change the terms, then you said we could change the conversation, and now you're saying we could change the meaning. So you're demonstrating now that no matter
change the meaning to a word,
Joe, hey Joe, other people have to be allowed to talk. I know you're used to railroading everybody, but other people have to be allowed to talk. When you say that we start by changing the term, then we change the process, and then we change the definition, you are deliberately saying that your world, the one that only Kung Fu Joe lives in, is devoid of meaning. You're saying you have no ability to substantiate what anything means ever. So now you've not only said that you agree with evolution up to the family zone, but you've also said that you don't know what you're talking about beyond anything and that everything is arbitrary. You said all meaning is arbitrary now.
I
Like, what are we supposed to do with it? You just did. You said I could swap out. You said I could swap out the definition of a cat with the definition of a whale, and it would be the same thing. That would make you insane clinically.
No, it's intersubjective. Do you agree that language is just intersubjective?
Not in the way that you're using the word intersubjective.
Yes or no is language intersubjective. Do you know what intersubjective means?
Yeah, go for it. Tell me what that means.
How are you gonna reject what I say when you don't even understand what the fuck I'm saying?
I just
That's
demonstrated
wild,
that.
dude. That's wild.
Could
You're
you
like
demonstrate?
Yeah,
I told you that I reject it. So now you have to demonstrate.
Okay, are you ready? Let me know when you're ready. Yeah.
Go for it now, and then stop afterwards.
Wow, this guy. Okay, are you ready? So now, what intersubjective is like me and you can make a language overnight. We could just make a set of sounds and then combine them and then list what each one means and translate.
That's not how language works.
Yeah, it is.
That's not how language works. No, it's not. We can't do that. I have literally gone to school for 7 years for the field of linguistics. We cannot do that. That's not how language works.
Can't make a language? No,
we can make a language. We absolutely can do that. But the way you've described it is not how we do that. You've described being a retard. For word. No. Absolutely, what you've described up until the words we could make a language, right? Everything after the words we could make a language is just retarded gibberish. Everything that you said doesn't matter. Really? Yes. So absolutely.
A single person.
That no one's ever told you this.
Are you telling me that a single person hasn't made a language on their own?
No, the language Toki Pono was created by a single person.
Okay, so what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I'm saying quite literally, and please don't interrupt for the rest of this. I'll say the word done when I'm done, okay? You have not described how languages are created. You have described what you think language creation processes are, but you have described essentially the thoughts of a retarded person.
Are you done?
No. I gave you a pause so that you could process it. So I want you to think about why you know the difference between the word pen, as in a writing instrument, and pen, as in a pig pen. Why do you know the difference between that?
Because I learned English.
That's not an answer for that, because then that would be deferred again. I would have to ask the question again because of the usage of English. Why do you know the answer to that? So I need you to think really hard because it doesn't seem like you've ever been asked this before. If your answer is going to re-prompt my question, kill yourself. But if it's not, answer the question.
Bro, what the fuck? I just answered your fucking question.
No, you didn't. You re-prompt the question, right? Because what about how you've learned English has led you to do that, right? Anytime that your answer is going to re-prompt my question, you should think about it like...
my head allowed me to be taught English by my parents.
That is actually further away from I learned English.
I was taught English.
Okay, cool. And how were you taught English? Did your parents tell you that there's a different sound between pen and pen that gives one the pigs and one the ink?
Yeah.
What is the different sound between... Hey, sweetheart, what is the different sound between pen and pen that gives one an ink and one a pig?
They're the same sound.
Okay, so cool. So you have no answer.
I just told you it's the same thing. You just use the same words for two different things sometimes.
What you've done is concede, but you don't know what the word concede
What?
means,
What are you
so you're
talking
stuck
about,
there.
idiot? Dude, do you believe
You've
do words have with the same sound have more than one usage? Do words mean multiple things?
what? Do
Do
words
words
with
mean
more than
multiple
one
things?
sound mean multiple
Yeah.
usage? Do
No,
words mean multiple usage?
do words have multiple definitions sometimes for one word for the same word?
Not at the moment of
Yes or no?
instantiation, no.
Yes or no?
No,
Yes or
not
no?
at the moment of instantiation, no. Not
Two-
at the moment of
listen,
instantiation, no.
Listen,
Not at the moment of
two
instantiation,
words.
no.
No, that's
Not at
not
the
what
moment of
that,
instantiation, no.
no.
Not at the moment of
Answer the fucking question,
instantiation,
you
no.
fucking crazy
Not at the moment of
crackhead.
instantiation.
No,
Are
that's
you
I
a
don't care
boy?
about the moment of the
Are you a boy
no.
and a
It's
girl
a
at the
yes
same
or no
time?
question. You don't have to
Are
qualify
you
it.
are you a
don't have to
boy and a
qualify
girl
it.
at the same time? Yes or no?
Boy
You
and girl
started
are
with the correct.
boy and girl are two different words.
So is yes and no, retard, but you start off as both of those
Yes
with
and no
equal
are two different
potential.
words. Yeah,
Yes,
no,
so you start off as both of them with
pen,
equal potential,
pen
and then
as in
based on the
a pen that you
instantiation,
write
you
with,
can't do
and
it.
a pen as in like a pig pen are two different two different things with the same word, right?
Yes. Now, why are you
Yeah.
able to tell the difference?
So
Why are you
one
able to tell the
single
difference? Why are
word,
you able to tell the difference? Why are you
because
able
you
to tell the
could
difference?
point to
Why are
it.
you able to tell the
Because you
difference?
could
Why
point
are you
to
able
it.
to tell the
Because
difference?
you could point to it.
Blind,
Because
why are
you
you
could
able to
see
tell the
it.
difference?
I'm
Blind,
not blind.
retard. I'm asking you, why can
You
a
could
blind man
describe
tell the
it.
difference?
You could describe it to them.
So then